This is another tutorial based upon an old higher admin paper. Now, as you can see down the bottom, I've got 4 tabs. I've got discounts, which gives us some information about possible discounts from a trip, number of tour bookings, profitability breakdown, and an invoice. This tutorial will look at VLOOKUPs. There will be a sum if and a nested if with a calculation at the end. What are we doing today? Well, first off, question 2 parts. Complete the worksheet entitled Tour Bookings, print a value on 1 page with formula view and information related to booking reference and discount code is not required. So, to complete the tour bookings page, now it doesn't give you any more information other than that. You are simply expected to know what to do. And the first one we have to find out is the discount amount. How much of a discount is there from the total cost of the trip? Now we've got a tab called discounts. We've got discount code, we've got Commonwealth Games, description, and discount amount. Here we have discount code as well. Discount code applied and discount code. So what we're looking for is to match discount code here with the reference in the other table. Now this is going to be a VLOOKUP. As always, your FX button, then VLOOKUP. Click OK. Now, what are we looking for? I spoke a couple of seconds ago about the link between 2 tabs. So we're looking for a discount code, like so. So you want to find any reference of this particular code, VSWV. And we want to look for that in our discounts tab. So we'll highlight from discount code all the way over to discount amount. We have to ensure we absolute cell reference, otherwise we're not going to find any information when we copy down. We're highlighted column A, B and C. The value for the discount, the number, is in column 3. And this time you have to push or type in false as well, because I'm not in any particular alphabetical order and there's not one reference for every entry. Copy that down. Be consistent with our formatting. And we can just double check that we've got the correct discount for each one. So the first 2, VSWV, yeah, that's £15. Then the next 2 have worked again. So our first part, very simple VLOOKUP. So looked up for what was in column F, and we linked that to the discounts tab, and then look for the value, the discount that actually represents. The next part, very simple one here, we've got to work out our net income. So that is the income generated from the trip. So the total cost of the trip less any potential discount. Very simple, very straightforward. Total cost, take away any discount. At higher, you shouldn't really have to think about doing that. The basic formula should be second nature to you by now. And even for VLOOKUPs, that wasn't strictly a very complicated VLOOKUP. So we've taken care of the first part, so everything in 2A is now complete. Second part, senior management have asked that we closely monitor the profitability of all the tours we currently offer. Use the information from the tour booking sheet to find net total income for each tour, indicate whether or not the tour is operating at a profit or a loss, and complete a profitability breakdown. So we have a tab called Profitability Breakdown, which is shown here. So we want to show whether all the tours for Auld Lang Syne generate a profit or a loss. So we want to add up the money generated to work out whether or not it's a profit or a loss. So first of all, it's going to be a sum if. Sum if because we want to add up the value of each trip. Now, criteria. I always say we go to the criteria first, and our criteria is the name of our tour, like so. The range, if you remember, is where you want to look for it. So we want to look for every reference of the name. So that is in tour names. And don't forget to absolute cell reference that. If you do not absolute cell reference, you'll not get a correct value when you copy down. Sum range. This is where we want to look for the money, the things you want to add together. And that is going to come from your net income. From over here, discount amount, net income here. So tour bookings. Sometimes when you're clicking on cells, you can sometimes get the wrong information in. Just important to check up what you've done. So sum range, where you want to look for your values, where you want to add. We want to add from our net income. So make sure they are all selected, like so, the entire column. And then absolute cell reference. Like so. And we get the income for the tour. Like so, and that's generated all the income for every reference of that particular tour now. What we have to do here is reference whether or not each tour has made a profit or a loss. Now, it's not as simple as generating profit or loss. If you've got a question that gives you two choices, you have to use an if statement. So, if statement, in this case, if this cell here, which would be the cost of the operating tour, is greater than the total net income, then they're not making any money, so they're making a loss. If that statement is false, then they're making a profit. So we have said, if B4 is greater than C4, then they're losing money, they're making a loss. If on the other hand it's the other way around, they're making a profit. So we have now done sum if and a simple if statement here. Now the final two things we have to add to this particular worksheet. Number of tours showing a profit, number of tours showing a loss. So we only want to register them if they match this criteria. So we're counting them if. So it's a count if. So count if. Our criteria is profit. Then make sure your profit is the same as it is in the cell reference. Highlight the range where you want to look. I'd always just get into the habit of using a cell reference, absolute cell reference, and push OK. Very simply do the same for loss. There we go, so we've added up all the ones showing a profit, all the ones showing a loss. So we've done VLOOKUPs, countifs, sum ifs, and a very simple if statement. Next, the company has started the process of invoicing clients whose properties were rented as part of our Commonwealth Games promotion. Prepare the invoice Maria Fisher by finishing the management invoice worksheet. So here is our management invoice worksheet. So we've got property management invoice. So we've got three things filled in already. We've got our subtotal, so our public liability insurance, cleaning and laundry service, share of marketing fees, management fee. So what we have to do is find out which management fee applies to this business. Now it tells us here, for a fee of more than £1,400, there's a management fee of 10%. For more than 1,000, 7.5%. For less than 1,000, it's 5%. So management fee. It's an if statement. It's a triple if, it's a nested if, and this time it has a calculation in it. So, as always, if statement. Now what is our criteria? So, if, in this case, D4 is less than or equal to 1,000, we've got to find 5% of that for our fee. So, if it's true, click on our rental cost, and then we want to find a percentage, so we multiply by the value for 1,000 or less, which is 5%. And then you can absolute cell reference that. Click to the second line, if false, back up to your top left hand corner and click on if. Then the next one, if D12 is greater than 1,000, you would have the rental cost, again multiplied by the management fee, which is in this cell reference B30. And lastly, click on the false line, up to if, add another level, rental cost greater than or equal to 1400, value if true is 10%, the B29, times the rental cost. Now it's quite a long-winded if you've got 3 different sets of possible multiplication here. So just click OK, and we get the value of 95.63. So that's worked out. We have a rental value of £1,275, so that applies to 7.5%. Now next, subtotal. All you have to do is add these things up that are before us. Really simple after doing the hard part. Now, lastly, you have to find the VAT amount. So how much value added tax is added on top of all these areas. So quite simply, your subtotal multiplied by your VAT rate at 20%, push enter, and then just a standard bit of business maths, you add your VAT onto your subtotal. And here we have a large if statement based upon 3 possible criteria with a calculation, a simple sum, and a simple addition and subtraction. So nested if on 3 criteria, a sum if, an if statement taking care of countifs, and we've also looked at VLOOKUP. So quite a good tutorial to use if you find yourself getting stuck on things. Certainly a lot to consider, and take your time with nested ifs. They can be quite tricky and complicated.